Hi again, gang. Pete Rebell here. I'm at Vanity today, and we got a letter from obviously a young fella here. It's an email, actually. He said, "Hey, I was surfing YouTube, and I ran across this fella, Hank Williams Sr. So I don't know too much about him, but I like a lot of his music. Do you know anything about this guy, Hank Williams Sr.?" Well, it's funny that you should ask because actually I have a personal story I can relate to you about Hank Williams Sr., and it concerns my dad. My dad was really a great guy. See, my dad actually, when he was young, he traveled with Hank Williams Sr. on the road. Now, my dad wasn't a musician, but what he did was he drove the extended car where they had the equipment and all. And not only that, he played cards with Hank Williams Sr. Now, see, a lot of people know Hank Williams Sr. liked to play pinochle. And my dad liked to play pinochle. He liked that game a lot. So they would, on the road, my dad would drive, and boom, when they got to the motel or where they would be staying, they take up a game of pinochle. Now, the sad thing is, my dad was a pretty good player, but Hank was terrific. And my dad tended to lose to him more than he ever won. And I remember, as I was told, of course I wasn't born yet, but as I was told, what happened is one time my dad had a great hand, pinochle. He had, I was told, like a double pinochle plus, I think, a small run and whatever. And he thought, oh man, I'm going to win this one. So what he did was he took the rest of the money, his week's take, and he put it on the table because he figured he's going to play catch up and maybe win this time and get some of the money back that Hank kept winning. Well, as fate would have it, of course, Hank put his cards down, and gosh, he was better than my dad's hand, and my dad lost it all. Well, he wasn't angry about it, but he said, Hank, good, I just lost everything. I don't have anything left. And Hank, then I give him credit for it because I agree with him. He told my dad, Pete, when you play, you gotta pay. I mean, I don't think any of us should argue with that. But my dad at that time, he went over eye to eye with Hank. And he says, Hank, now I quote, he said, Hank, you got a cold, cold heart. Well, Hank was taken back just a bit, and he got a little smile on his face from what I was told, and he actually took the money, and he says, Pete, you take this back. He proceeded to get up. He went over to the desk that was in the room. He sat down, and in 20 minutes, he wrote what I consider to be the greatest Hank Williams tune. And I'm going to do that for you. And again, this was, a lot of people feel that my dad was responsible for this Hank Williams tune, which, as I say, I believe it's the greatest tune he ever wrote. And it goes like this. I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream, and you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart. Another love before my time made your heart sad and blue, and so my heart is paying now for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words I've said that makes the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? There was a time when I believed that you belonged to me, but now I know your heart is shackled to our memory. The more I learn to care for you, the more we drift apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? And that is Hank Williams' Cold, Cold Heart. You know, besides that, a little later on, Tony Bennett picked it up, recorded it, and he had a monster hit with it. And probably, as I remember, it was, I would say it was the song that put Tony Bennett on the map, as for what we call, you know, so many years. Well, how many years now? Tony Bennett's around 90 now. It's got to be almost 70 years later. He's still making great music, singing tunes. And if you ever saw him in concert, he still does this song, Cold, Cold Heart. But that's the music of Hank Williams Sr. And as I say, we have my dad to thank for it. What a guy he was. And I am Pete Revell. I am his son. And that says it all. Hey, you've been great, gang. Keep those cards and letters, emails coming in, and we'll continue answering all your questions. See you very soon. Anything else? Nah. Watch for us on YouTube. I'm Pete Revell. See you, guys. Okay.